welcome back. Guess what time it is? It is time for our weekly roundup, where I go over all of the eyeshadow palettes I used over the past week and I rank them from least liked to most liked. Now this week I have 7 slots and I'm just gonna jump right in. At number 7 is the Natasha Denona Cupid palette. Now this is one of her larger 5 pans, because she's got the minis and then she's got the large palettes and the midi palettes, and then these are kind of like somewhere in the middle. So I don't hear or see many people talking about or using these as much. I don't think they're as popular. I feel like the minis kind of took over where these 5 pans stood for a while, but I do have a few of them, so I'm going to make sure to intentionally use them soon so that I can determine if I want to declutter any of them. I know that I did declutter one, but I've got quite a few others. And what I do like about these though is that the pans are magnetic. Unlike the minis, they're not magnetic, and so you can move these about if you want to. And I think the pan sizes are the same as her larger palettes. So if you have any of those, some of those, you can move things around, or you can just simply depot the whole thing and use them as singles. But this was a really simple, neutral look. I managed to use all of the shades in the palette. Nothing special about this palette in terms of color story. I believe that if you are into rosy tones, you probably already have these shades. So we'll see if I hold on to this or declutter it, or I also might just take the shades out and put them with my singles. We'll see. Number 6. I am the poster person for this palette. So this is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork Defining Neutrals palette. Now I did a quick, very neutral, very simple and easy look one day for work. I stayed with the cooler tones this time and did a little bit of a wing. I kept the... Somebody... I think somebody's moving their trash can or something. They nearly took out my heart. I kept the look pretty neutral, and I paired it with a bright lip, kind of a red lip, and then I had my hair all froed out and everything. It was real cute. I did use this palette throughout the week in other ways, but this is just when I used it specifically and only as an eyeshadow palette. So it's just in there every week. A few of you have said, go ahead and put it in there, because I was like, I'm going to try to not keep having it in there every week, but it's probably going to be in there, okay? And the countdown is 3 weeks until Jessa and I go see Danessa in New York, and I hope I get a picture. Oh, I get a picture with her. What am I going to wear? What am I going to wear? Give me ideas. Okay, number 5 is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Eye Filter Luxury Palette, and this is one that I took with me to my office to do my makeup. Very simple and easy. These are definitely overpriced. I have a couple of them that I only got one deep discount. What I do like though, if you're the kind of person that wants something subtle, but it's Charlotte Tilbury has this way of giving you things that it's just pretty, but not just pretty. Pretty doesn't give it enough zhuzh. Very elegant. Things look super simple in the pan, but when you put the eyeshadows on your eyes, I think it's impossible to look bleh when you have these Charlotte Tilbury palettes. They need to be, what are these? These are not worth it. Aren't they $70-something? I have not paid $70-something for these. I really think she should just drop them prices, but I think that there is a market or a population that she caters to. So I wouldn't suggest these palettes, but I will say that if you have them, they just really give this soft, nice, pretty look. So yeah, this is at number 5. This was great for taking into the office to do my makeup at work. Number 4 is not a palette. It is actually a Danessa Myricks ColorFix. This is the shade Cobalt, and I use this to do a really simple winged liner look. All I did was use this, and I put a bit of the shimmer shade Boy Crazy from Sydney Grace. Super simple. I just wanted something simple and easy, and now I am definitely thinking to do more looks with just like a wing liner in a bright color, because it's something that you can do that's quick and still has like some complexity to it. Now, I know sometimes wing liners can be a struggle. I still struggle with them also, but for me, the trick is to just go slowly. Really and truly, that is it. Just go slowly and make a line and then connect it and go about your business. Yeah, and practice, I guess. But I really enjoy this. I want to do this again. Just a wing liner with a bright color. So that is number 4. Number 3 is the Beauty Bay Rich palette. Now, this is really pretty. Has a lot of the tones that I really enjoy, like these berries, and then some nice just like neutral browns. This was a really pretty, easy look to do. This is the 16 pan palette. Now, it seems like from what I can see with Beauty Bay, I'm like newer to their palettes, but it seems like they have one theme and it'll have like different size palettes. Like there will be a 9 pan, a 12 pan, and more and more and more. For this one, I can't remember if there are smaller or larger ones, but this was like the perfect size for me. I could have even gone with a 12 pan in this, or 9 or whatevs. But yeah, I really like this. Really cute, very good formula, and I'm not even gonna say good for the price. No, I think it's like genuinely good stuff. So I have this as well as the Earthy palette, and then the Reckless Romance, I think it's called. So those are the 3 Beauty Bay palettes that I have. So far, so good. There was one like a couple years ago that I had, and I really, really liked it. But it was too big. I wanted it to fit in a drawer, and it wouldn't, and I was like, I'm just gonna give this one my little cousins. So, but I am glad that I'm getting back into their products. Yeah, pretty cool. Number 2. Now, number 2 is Pat McGrath, and I actually used her quads. This one is Risque Rose, and I paired it with Deep Space Divinity. So as usual, I do love the formula of Pat McGrath. I often tend towards the motherships, so I wanted to be sure to use some of the other palettes that I have. So I have quite a few of the quads, and I wanted to like mix and match, because typically the quads have like a specific color story, you know, because they're quads. Like, you're not going to get a ton of difference in there. But these are 2 that I really like, and I decided that I would put them together. I liked the look. It was super cute and fun, and I am starting to see my Pat McGrath palettes more as like palettes that can be in my regular rotation, rather than putting them aside like, you know, the good crystal or something that you only bring out on holidays. So there is that. Like some people, I think some of us have said, maybe we're all conspiracy theorists, I don't think Pat McGrath is really involved in the brand no more. Pat is off doing makeup for runway shows and things like that. I don't know who's in charge of the brand. I mean, I think they've taken it a very special way. But yeah, I still love like the OG, maybe before 2 years ago, Pat McGrath palettes. and nothing beats her under eye setting powder. I need to go ahead and get another one of those. Now, at number 1 is the Nomad New Zealand Stargazing palette. I actually used this palette in a collab with my good girlfriend, Jan Van. We basically did a video each of us answering questions about the other and using shades, eyeshadow shades that the other likes. So Jan's favorite shade or color is black, so I started out with this, and then I believe I went into Milky Way and just, you know, tried to do a little something that she would be proud of. I also think that I used the Blend Bunny Surge palette for an inner corner, like a bright yellow inner corner, because Jan loves her inner corners and she likes bright inner corners. So this look was really fun. I really liked it. It's probably the most complex of the looks I did this past week. It's so interesting because I think I am really, I said this before, in my like neutral eyeshadow era. It's very interesting to me. I'm okay with it. Like, I make it look good. So I think that is it. Let me know what you've been using over the past week and maybe even what you plan to use. I think this week, again, is going to have a lot of neutral looks. I'm on a panel to talk to students about being a psychologist and like how I got into the field and pros and cons and all that jazz. I think there are 2 or 3 other people on the panel. I'm almost 100% sure that I'm the most seasoned therapist on there. I think I'm the only psychologist, and I've been in my career the longest, and I'm like, these kids do not want to hear about me. I mean, kids, I think they're grad students. I'm like, they don't want to hear about me. Like, I'm so far out the game now. Like, psychology was different, like, when I was being trained, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if I'll be asked back. This is my 2nd or 3rd time doing it, but now I'm like, you should probably just ask one of my associates because they're closer to, you know, I don't know. But maybe people do want to know what it looks like when you're further along in your career, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I hope that some of this was helpful, and I also hope that you are continuing to take care of yourself. I would love it if you liked the video, and I would love it even more if you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.